Hi folks, welcome to Dean Park. In this video I put the newly released Bachmann Class 90 in the Dean Park spotlight. I've been waiting to do this video for about 4 years now since it was announced in early 2015, and they just arrived in the shops last week, so I've managed to grab one and I'll have a look at it and get it running on the layout. I really want your feedback on this one. If you've got the Bachmann Class 90 in one of the 3 initial releases of different liveries, please go to my Dean Park Station closed Facebook group and post a picture on there on the Class 90 feed that I have uploaded. I'd like you to share your views on this model as well, both in the comments below and on my Facebook. If you liked the video, remember, click on the like icon. You can also click on the share icon, and also if you've not already subscribed to my channel, please click on the subscribe icon below. At the bottom right hand side of the screen there is a Dean Park icon. Click on that, it'll take you to all my previous uploads on my Dean Park Station YouTube group. Hope you enjoy the video. I look forward to your comments. Cheers! Before I go and look at the Bachmann model in any detail, I'll give you a quick run through about some of the Class 90s in actual BR service. The Class 90s were built between 1987 and 1990 at the BREL Crew Works. Originally they were going to be classed as locomotives 87-2, but because of their development and more sophisticated electronics along with dynamic braking and TDM equipment, this effectively turned it into a class of loco on its own. BR were also looking for new publicity regarding locos for the 1990s, so this kind of resulted in the Class 90 being born. They're built to replace the older and much less reliable Class 81 to 85 locomotives. The first Class 90s were accepted into BR traffic in March 1988, and by November that year the intercity fleet numbered 15 locomotives. The first of the rail freight liveried locomotives was accepted into traffic in May 1990, and the last 90 was accepted in August of that year. By 1991, the BR sectorisation process eliminated dual purpose, and each locomotive was allocated to a sector of ownership. 90-001 to 015 went to intercity. 90-016 to 20 went to BR parcels, and that was later Rail Express systems. And 90-021 to 90-050 went into rail freight distribution sector. Looking a bit closer at 90-005, this was built in February 1988 and accepted into traffic the following month. Initially it had tiny coach numbers, but by late 1989 it received larger numbers. It was also the first Class 90 to be named on the 30th of March 1988 at London Euston by Frank Barlow, the Chief Executive of the Financial Times, to celebrate the centenary of the newspaper and its close business relationship with BR Parcels. So here we have the Bachmann Class 90, and the code for this particular model is 32-610, and it's in the very attractive Intercity Swallow livery. Looking at this model straight from the box, I have to admit that I'm extremely impressed. The fit and the finish looks of the highest quality. Referring to photographs, I can see that Bachmann have captured the profile of the real loco particularly well. Studying the livery shows a very accurate and high quality finish. It looks splendid in its Swallow livery. However, I still think the Class 91 wears the white Swallow livery better than this Class 90. Looking at the details on the roof, you can see that the 2 grey boxes have a very fine etched grille in them. I mean, it's just stunning, and all the insulators are picked out in the correct colour. They're very finely produced to the left hand side of the roof, which houses the high-speed pantograph. To access the decoder socket, you simply have to unscrew 4 screws underneath the loco, and there's a panel here in the middle that simply lifts off. This makes fitting the decoder very simple and quick, as it reveals the circuit board with the 21-pin interface. From here you can also adjust lighting using small switches if you're running it in DC mode, or indeed DCC mode. These switches can also be quickly accessed by removing the small grey panel on the top of the roof without having to unscrew the larger panel. Bachmann really have thought about ease of fitting decoders and getting it from a DC to a DCC here. It's a breath of fresh air. Obviously an AC loco with this kind of patterned roof and this design allows itself to panels to be lifted off. However, I don't see why they can't do it on future, diesels, for example, the class 47 roof and the class 37s, just to allow access to the decoder quickly and easily, and in case of some locos, painlessly. The body, bogies and underframe detail has been extremely well reproduced. There is a wealth of separately fitted and individually painted parts on this loco. Bachmann really have pulled out the stops here, which is nothing less than I expect, considering it cost around about £150. All lines between different colours of the paintwork are very crisp and sharp. There is no overspray on any parts, and all the individual parts that have been picked out, such as the door handles, have been done exceptionally well. There is an etched nameplate in the detail pack if you wish to fit that over the printed Financial Times nameplate that is given straight from the box. This loco is designed to work on a Bachmann 36-569 21-pin decoder. These are produced by Zemo, so it's a good decoder. You're not going to get rubbish from them. This decoder allows you, in specific terms, to work the pantograph. It also allows you to have separately fitted head and tail light functions, both in day and night running modes, as well as cab lighting functions. Before I forget, there is no driver in the cabs of this Class 90, which is really unusual for Bachmann. They usually have a driver in there somewhere. This decoder costs around £30, so it's on par with the price of a Lens 21-pin decoder, but considerably more expensive than the standard Bachmann 21-pin decoders. If you want the servo to operate correctly, you have to buy this new decoder from Bachmann or a similar version from another supplier. That brings the total cost to just over £180. This is a lot, but you get a lot of features and functionality for your money. Turning my attention to the nose, I've put it on the track for this so you can see some of the lighting features. However, I'd just like to comment on the actual detail in the front before I do that. The black lined windows are very crisp and superbly fitted onto the model, as are the light lens covers and the very, very fine horn cover grille. The horn's even modelled behind that grille as well, so it really is fantastic. The detail in the yellow warning panel is accurate and it's well picked out, and the crisp edges between the different colours is first class. I mean, there's no issue at all with the livery application here. Looking lower down, the buffers are lightly sprung and correct for this version of the Class 90. You can retract the buffers as well by pushing them in and rotating them at 90 degrees. That's a small but pretty cool addition. Let's turn my attention to the lights then. F0, as always, are the head and tail lights. F1 is the cab light to reveal a very highly detailed cab, which is great. For years, Bachmann have kind of under-detailed their cabs, in my opinion, whereas Hornby have tended to go for the more detailed cabs, along with the Daypol and some of the Helljan models. But really, it's good to see Bachmann paying a bit more attention to the cab. As I said earlier, there's no driver in it, but you could fit one yourself. The cab lights are directional, so the number 2 end, which is displayed just now, has the cab light on because that's the leading end. However, if I change the direction of the loco, that cab goes off, the red tail lights are displayed, and the cab light goes on at the other end, as you can just see in the picture there. Put the lights off. I said earlier that the red lens, the red lights with the actual lens covers, it gives a real depth. They're not garish and unrealistic. They're just the right level of brightness for me anyway. One of the big talking points when the model was announced and details came out about what it was going to have was the servo powered pantograph. I have to say I was a bit sceptical about this, because I thought if they only make it go fully up or fully down, it's going to put a lot of modelers off using it because it might clip your overhead masts and wires and whatnot. But it's good to see that Bachmann have thought about this, and you can actually alter the height and the speed at which the pantograph operates. So that's really good, and a really bit of thought going into that from Bachmann, so well done on that front. It's powered using F6, so if I press F6, there we go. Now I've already altered the speed at which it goes up to make it slower, and also the height at which it goes up to make it a bit lower, so it gets under my daypole masts. Put it down again, and there we go. Also clicks into place if you don't want to use it powered, or you're storing it in the box. So there's little clips there, very easy to use. To conclude the review, I'm going to ask my usual question, and that is whether you should avoid this model, consider it, or just go ahead and buy it. Well, if you're modelling the West Coast Main Line from 1989 onwards, there's going to be a chance that a Class 90 is going to be in your fleet. So on that basis, you're probably going to go ahead and buy it. For anyone else, I would recommend that you strongly consider it.